Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube plus iHeartRadio. Thank y'all so much for the support. Let me move on to the world of boxing because this is on my mind. Saturday night, Gervonta Tank Davis, one of the best in the world, clearly one of the best punchers in boxing with 20-second knockouts, by the way, 27 knockouts, by the way. This brother will defend his WBA lightweight world title against Frank Martin. The fight happens at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, where Martin has risen from top prospect to a dangerous contender in the lightweight division. He's got an 18-0 record. He's got 12 KOs. The brother can fight. I like Frank Martin a lot. I don't know about the competition he's going against. And one of the things that really resonates with me is when Gervonta Davis said, you might have came too early. You might have came too early. That's what he's talking about because he's talking about his experience. You got to remember, Gervonta Davis got 27 knockouts in 29 fights. Okay, he's undefeated. He is a knockout artist. He puts brothers to sleep. This is what he does. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, you got a guy like Martin. Martin can box. I don't know how much power he's got. You got the 12 knockouts, but 12 knockouts in 18 fights. It's about a 66% knockout rate, whatever. Well, it ain't 95% knockout rate. Okay, and I saw the press conference with him and Gervonta, when Gervonta was talking about he made him flinch and stuff like that. I didn't see all of that, but Gervonta was getting so annoyed with him, talking about how he stung him and he buckled Gervonta's legs in a sparring session, stuff like that. You know, this kind of stuff gets under his skin. I don't know if it's the wisest decision for Frank Martin to piss off Gervonta Davis, but then I guess the argument could be made, look, he's coming in the ring to hurt you anyway, so what difference does it make? He's going to try to hurt you no matter what. So it ain't like he's going to get pity on you because you ain't talking, so you might as well talk, I guess, promote the fight. All of that stuff is true. I hope it's a great fight. I hope Frank Martin is what I think he is. His trainer is Derek James, the same guy that trained Errol Spence Jr. I love Errol Spence Jr., never expected that beatdown that he took at the hands of Terrence Crawford. I had Terrence Crawford winning the fight, but I thought it would be a close fight. He would win by decision. I did not know he would do that to Errol Spence. I did not know he would do that. You could take into account the car accident. You could take into account something else that happened to him that messed up his jaw or whatever. Either way, it was clear once the second round started that Errol Spence Jr. had no business in the ring with Terrence Crawford. And Derek James was his trainer. And so, yes, the trainer can only do but so much. I'm not trying to throw no shade on anybody or anything like that, but it does have me looking at Derek James with a raised eyebrow because I'm like, your fighter got destroyed that night. Having said all of that, Frank Martin can really fight, at least against the competition he's going against. The competition he's going against is not Tank Davis. This brother can put you to sleep with either hand. Either hand. He beat Garcia. Ryan Garcia getting himself in trouble seems to be a head case these days. You can easily attest that to him losing to Tank Davis. When Tank Davis caught him with a body shot, liver, and ultimately, I don't know, it was a liver or kidney, but ultimately ended that fight. Okay? Ryan Garcia comes back. He has a couple of fights, including beating Devin Haney, but he came in there overweight, didn't care about being overweight. And then rumored, according to test results, actually, it says that he used performance-enhancing substance. So who knows what to think? Devin Haney, the way we saw him get rocked by Ryan Garcia, get dropped 3 times, I don't want him in any ring with Gervonta Davis. Yeah, I don't want him anywhere near Tank Davis. Anywhere near Tank Davis. Stay away from him. This kid, Frank Martin, he looks the part, looks strong, obviously in shape, biggest fighter of his career. But I still got to favor Tank Davis because of the experience and the power. The combination of the two. If you don't have the power, you at least need to have the experience. Frank Martin doesn't have either. He doesn't have the power nor the experience. I'm talking about more power than Gervonta Davis, more experience than Gervonta Davis. And I don't even know if he's the better boxer because I saw Gervonta Davis versus Pitbull, who's this miniature dude that just stalks everybody and he takes you out. And Gervonta Davis beat him by decision, but he outboxed that kid. Gervonta Davis can box. He's not just a fighter. He's got so much power and he knock you out. People think he's a puncher. No, that's Deontay Wilder. That's a puncher, devoid of the requisite boxing skills needed. And I'm not throwing shade on Wilder. We just talking boxing here. He's a puncher, not a boxer. Gervonta Davis is both. And so I'm looking at him, and I'm like, yo, I don't want Frank Martin to get knocked out. I don't want it not to be a good fight. But I'm looking at Leonard Ellaby, with the money team, Mayweather Promotions and stuff like that. And, obviously Tank Davis is in that camp. And I'm looking at my man Leonard Ellaby, who always has the flyest shades of anybody. I don't know where he could. Every shade that is fly, every pair of shades that is fly, Leonard Ellaby has them. Nobody has better shades than Leonard Ellaby, but I digress. Leonard Ellaby like, yo, don't leave. This could end early. Frank Martin, let me tell you how it's going to end early. If you go in that ring with such bravery that you think you're going to stand toe-to-toe with Gervonta Davis or stalk him as opposed to using your movement to avoid getting hit by him, it could be a short night. I don't know Frank Martin. I only watched the highlights of his fights. I've watched Gervonta Davis a lot over the years. The brother is one of the top 5 fighters on the planet. And he really doesn't seem to like this guy. So it's going to be real interesting to see what happens. I wish Frank Martin luck. I think Gervonta Davis is going to win this fight in all likelihood by TKO, if not KO. But I hope I'm wrong. I like Frank Martin. I'm rooting for him. And I'm rooting for him to put forth a good showing. I love Tank Davis. I don't want him to lose. But I'm looking forward to Frank Martin putting forth a good showing. I just don't know if he can. I'm very, very, very worried for him. I must admit.